Clark took off those 4Ks, and General Lane looked at him like, wait a minute. How'd I get fooled by this? Okay, I had the flu last week, so we didn't do a review for episode 1 and 2, and we also didn't do a review for Penguin episode 3. But I'm here to tell you right now, we're back to about 85%. Okay? When you get old, man, those flus be laying you low. But if you are not watching this show, you are, in all honesty, missing out. Because Superman and Lois continues to be probably the best thing that the CW, DC, HBO Max headspaces have ever put together. I was afraid going into this, especially going into this season, with the fact that the budget was less, the fact that there were going to be less episodes, the fact that a lot of the cast had been relegated from being series regulars to essentially guest stars. I was afraid that we were going to lose a little bit of the magic. That little bit of the ingredients that made the secret sauce had essentially been removed and thrown in the trash, and McDonald's was trying to tell us, don't worry, it tastes the same. I'm happy to say, especially after this last episode, episode 3, I am happy to say that that is not the case. This show remains excellent. Starting off, right off the bat, the valid crash out. Jordan has been an insufferable shit for the last few seasons. Ever since he discovered he got powers, he has been just going around doing whatever, not listening to what Superman has to say, not listening to what his mother has to say. He's just been insufferable. It was so satisfying that Johnathan, before he even got powers, that Johnathan was finally able to put his brother in his motherfucking place. Because everything that came out of Jonathan's mouth were absolute fucking facts. It's like, you didn't want to go save dad. He didn't go off with the intention of saving his father. He went off with the intention of essentially being the hero that saves his father, and ended up basically getting the heart destroyed, so they were unable to bring Clark back in any way, shape, or form. He's not doing it for the goodness. He's doing it for essentially the glory, because he's always been the outsider. He's always been the more difficult of the twins to essentially raise. Then the powers kick in, and what do we instantaneously get? More of his childishness. He decides to have an attitude against his mom because of Lex Luthor. Now, I can understand. The argument could be he's a teenager and Lex Luthor is a master manipulator. But I'm extremely sorry. Maybe it's just me. I wouldn't trust the person who killed my father to be in some way, shape, or form the beacon of truth. But his decision to leave has consequences. Consequences in the form of us losing Sam Lane. First off the bat, Sam Lane, this is probably the best depiction of his character we've ever received. I'm talking about across his appearance in Smallville, across his small appearance in the Supergirl TV show, and then I'm also talking about the way in which he was portrayed in Superman the Animated Series, and then also Justice League Unlimited, when he teamed up with Amanda Waller to create like their own super team. This is the version of Sam Lane essentially from the comic books, which is like, yo, I'm distrustful, but at the exact same time, I trust you a whole lot more than I trust dumb bitch motherfuckers down the street. And I love that his mentality has basically remained the same, where he points out the fact that being around Superman, being around his daughter, being around his grandkids has made him a better person. It has made him realize that there are things in this world that he personally, not professionally, but personally want to protect. That makes it so that he wants to give his life in order to protect these things. He understands where Clark and Superman are essentially coming from. And that is great. It's great when you show the parallel of Superman and Sam Lane. Sam Lane is a soldier. He's a career soldier who gives his all to basically maintain the global protection of the world from outside threats. For the most part, he focuses on America. But when the threat comes to the entire world, he steps forward to essentially defend the planet. Whereas Superman, he's not a career soldier. He's just a guy trying to do some good. And it's great when both of them are running on the exact same wavelength. And it's beautiful. I love the message that he left for his daughter. I love the fact that he went out there knowing he was going to die, didn't bring any weapons, um, didn't bring like a Superman cannon. I love the small note of Luthor on the phone, unable to comprehend someone willing to sacrifice themselves and walk towards his death. He was crashing out on the phone. He was like, Sam, please, this is your last chance. Tell me where my daughter's at. And Sam just drops the phone because that's who Luthor is at his core. He's a coward. At his core, Luthor is a coward, whereas Sam Lane at his core, he is a hero. He gladly walked towards his death, where if Luthor was being dragged towards his death, he'd be dragged towards his death probably kicking and screaming, or he just resigned himself because he can't think of another way out of the situation that he finds himself in. Um, Unbeknownst to some of y'all, I definitely did a video last week for episode 1 and 2, but I had the flu and I sounded absolutely fucking horrible. So I didn't release that one. But in that episode, I had said that where the hell is Doomsday? Then the rage came back. Like, did he go back to Gotham? Gotham. Did he go back to Metropolis? Is he in Metropolis sewers just eating rats again? Where'd he go? What's he doing right now? I'm interested in that. Like, where'd he go? Is he just like underground Metropolis eating rats? I was right. He was definitely underground in Metropolis once again eating rats or whatever the hell Luthor brought to him, because that chunk of meat he threw at the screen was definitely way bigger than a fucking rat. And of course, towards the end, we get the reveal that Superman is indeed coming back. It's very interesting with the heart situation, because the drug basically turns you into a mini Kryptonian, kind of sorta, with your durability. Um so it's going to be interesting to see exactly whether or not that's going to work, because we definitely see that he wakes up, so we know that it works. But what I'm afraid of is that we're going to get a Superman dealing with Johnathan Kent's issue from the comic books when he first initially got his powers, where if he overexerted himself, he could essentially just pass out. But we're gonna be sitting around, we're gonna be waiting, we're gonna see. So far, I absolutely love this episode. This episode was fucking great. It was fantastic, good in every single way. I loved it from the beginning all the way until the end. It even got me to like shed a tear here or there. I was even invested in the Irons family and like their whole drama, where they kind of want to go back to this normal secretive life, but the fact that they're heroes and the world's biggest heroes is gone means that they can't go to the normal life. They have to about face and come back to basically this mess and help essentially save the world. But let me know what you guys think about episode 3 of Superman and Lois. Comment down below. You know I love talking to you guys about just all of the wild shit that happens in any of the series that we watch together. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.